point will show you how to set up your Qualtrics account. So first what you're going to want to do is you're going to go to the Texas Tech website and go to the College of Human Sciences homepage. From there you'll go to Faculty and then you'll click on Qualtrics. And then it'll bring you to the Qualtrics page for the College of Human Sciences. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to click on Create Account. So here you have to use your Texas Tech email account. So it's important that you remember to put that in there. Don't use a different email account. Also, your password, make sure you write it down so you remember it. So you'll put in your information, which I'm going to make something up right now just so we can get in to kind of show you how it works. Okay. Then they'll ask you for your name, and then you'll say sign me up. And it's going to send an email to that account. And so all you're going to do is click on that email, and then you'll be able to log into your Qualtrics account. So let's go back, and I'll show you the page that you'll be at when you actually go to set up your account. So once again, College of Human Sciences homepage, faculty and staff Qualtrics. Then you're going to do login. So once you've set up your account, this is where you'll come in. You'll use your Texas Tech email and then your password that you made to log in. So in here, we're going to learn how to, I already have some surveys in here, but you'll be starting with a clean slate. And I'll show you how to create a survey. One important thing, once you've created your survey, this is a very, very important step that you have to do. You need to go over to Collaborate. And you're going to put in my email address, bobby.padgett@ttu.edu. And then you want to add me as a collaborator. And you want to say that I can edit, view results, activate, deactivate, copy, and distribute. So you want to save all those. And it won't do that since this is my account, but it would do it if you tried. So now we're going to create a survey. So what you're going to do under my surveys, you're going to say create survey. You want to do quick survey builder, and you need to give your survey a title. Now we're going to create our questions. So you want to say create a new item. And so for this, we're going to do our, you always want to have a little introduction that you do. So you want to come over here and you want to choose descriptive text as your option. And then this is where we'll write some different things that you can say. For this is you can tell them what the purpose of your research was. You can have a sentence about that. You can tell them that their participation is greatly appreciated. And that their opinions are important to the success of the study. You can also tell them how long it will take. You can tell them there are no right or wrong answers. You can also tell them that you only are interested in honest opinions. And another important thing you need to tell them is that their responses will be anonymous. Anonymous. So it's important you say that. And you can also thank them here if you want, and give them your email if they want more information. If not, you can also thank them and give them your email at the end, which I'll show you how to do that. So now we did our introduction. Now you're going to do create a new item. So here we're going to create our first question. So we're going to type in the box a 1. And so we're going to do demographics first. So first we're going to look at age. So for age, instead of having to give choices that they choose from, you can have them fill in a blank. So what we're going to do is when you're on question 2, you're going to go over here where it says multiple choice in the green and click the drop down arrow. And we're going to change it to a text entry. And we just want it to be a single line. So then people can type in their age. So let's do another demographic question. So another demographic question could be what classification are you in school? Or you could have just typed classification, whatever you want. And then we would have choices for this, but we would actually have 5 choices. So I went over here and changed this to 5 choices. Then you can click on each choice and write in what it is. And so it added a choice, so we can just go back because I clicked enter and delete that. Another cool thing that you can do is when you're on this question, there's called add skip logic. So that would be if you were going to do separate questions for freshmen, sophomore, junior, and senior. So you would add skip logic. And what skip logic does, it says if your freshman is selected, if they choose freshman, then it's going to put them to a certain block of questions, which we haven't added any more questions, or it would come up with other questions to put in there. And then you would say done. Now that we've added some demographics, let's look at how to do a Likert scale. So with a Likert scale, we can do an automatic choice. We can go to a matrix table where there's multiple answers, and say our Likert scale was on a 7-point Likert scale. So then, and it was from strongly disagree to strongly agree, so it just built it for us. And then we add in each statement. So you could strongly agree, strongly disagree with women staying at home. Then your next question, then your next statement. And then here you would type in your question. Rate how you agree with the following statements. And you want to say check the best value for each statement. So that's how you do a Likert scale. Some other things to look at is you'll do multiple choice, you'll have matrix, you could have fill in the blank. I suggest not doing a slider scale just because it's really hard to interpret results for that. You could do rank order in which they rank something in the order that they prefer it. You can also do questions side by side. I also think this is really confusing. I wouldn't do it this way. You can do hotspots, which are kind of neat, where you click on what you notice in the ad or what you would notice of a visual. If you did something like visual merchandising, you could use a hotspot. Or if you're looking at an ad and you wanted them to look at an online ad and what is the first thing they noticed, you could do that, which is kind of neat. I wouldn't, once again, use these type of sliding scales, or I wouldn't do gap analysis. I think it's confusing just the way that it works. So that's the basics of the different item types that you can choose. And we'll probably always be using a Likert scale, multiple answer. You could do a single answer. where it's just one question and then goes to the next question. Let's see. Also, you can add a page break. So, say between our demographics and our Likerts, we want to have a page break where it goes to the next page, so you kind of know the difference. You would click back on this question, and then you would come up to add page break. So now it just gave us a page in between our demographics and then our Likert scale questions, which is always nice to do. Some other things that you can do with this is then you can also add in, let's see, where does it say? Oh, another thing you can do is copy a question. So if you say we were going to do the single, let's change it. If we changed it to a single answer question, then if we wanted to do this again, we could just copy it and paste it. So you'd click on your question, then you'd say copy question, and it would copy the whole thing. So all you'd have to change were these and this, but you wouldn't have to do the setup or change anything else, which is also really nice to do. And then also at the end, once you're done, you would want to do create a new, and you would want to go up and choose descriptive text, and you just want to tell them thank you for completing the survey, and if you have any questions, they can email you. You can put in your email for them right there. And that kind of helps them out if they have any further questions about how to do that. Another thing you can do is if you see this, once you click, when you're over at a question, if you see this little bar, that'll move that question that you're on up and down. So see, it just moved question 7. So if we clicked on question 6, if we decided, oh no, we want to move back up. So we would just come over here, click on the gray bar, and it would move question 6 back up. So you could move your questions around. Let's see, there's a few other things that we can do. You can also load in a graphic if you need to. So you could actually go in for a question. Let's see, let's create a new question. Oh, here's the graphic. So then we would go here. We want a graphic with text. So you say select a graphic to use for this question. So this is where you can upload your photos. So then you would go to upload a new graphic. So say we want to use, we'd either have a file or we could use a graphic from a web. And so you would just copy and paste that graphic into the URL. And then you would have a new picture. So let's see if we can, we'll add a picture. Here's a picture that we uploaded. Save. So then we'd ask our question here. So we'd say, looking at the picture, what is most important to you? So, and this is also where we could bring in a heat map, where you're going to click on the area of the image that stands out the most. So you could also add a heat map. So now let's go preview our survey. So here we can go preview survey. So first thing it'll ask is, it'll give them the purpose, then they put in their age. So it's not going to let us, then we go to the next size, rate, looking at the picture, what is most important to you. So this is where you can do the heat map. And you can mark what was most important to you. Then it'll say thanks for completing the survey, and you're done. So now we'll go back to our questions. So that's just the basics of qualtrics. I'm sure y'all will be able to find way more things than I did. So now that we've kind of put our survey together, now we can look at saving our survey and distributing it. So now we're going to go to launch our survey. And this is where you activate your survey to collect responses. And so now we have a link. So our link is this. And you can copy and paste this into an email or a website. So you can go ahead and directly email people you know here, or you can go to your account and do that. Because here you would actually have to enter in email addresses. You can also go to social media and distribute your survey through Twitter, Facebook, blogs, MySpace, and ask people to do your survey. Thing to remember is that since you're doing millennials or Generation Y, that it's college students, so your mom can't take your survey because it won't count. So you got to tell people, only if you're within this age range can you take this survey. So that's another important thing to kind of tell people. And then once we get our survey launched, we'll come back and I'll show you how to view results and how to look at your results, and how to do reports and all different things within Qualtrics. And also, don't forget, if you do have any questions, you can also always email me through Blackboard or during question and answer sessions and virtual office hours. Also at the top, there's also some help and tutorials that you can always click on to try to find out more information about how to use Qualtrics. So it's learning Qualtrics in 5 steps. And it tells you how to do basic building, advanced building, anonymous distribution, identifying distribution, and reporting. So that's also another nice tool that you can use. Or you can always call the number if you can't get help through that.